Sometimes the questions have been asked of you. Where is it that stillness and movement meet? And what is it that's present when stillness and movement meet? But when we were together a few days ago, it was said that, as we know, if we take yeast and water and we put them together, no chemical reaction will take place until we add a third ingredient, the sugar. As soon as we add sugar to the yeast and the water, they begin to merge and bubble up together. There are several stories that have been told before. Let's see what happens when we put them together. They're both Sufi stories, and the first story is about that great Sufi Sheikh Al-Ghazali, who one day received a message from the Sultan of the day, who lived in Kabul, that Al-Ghazali's presence was required at his palace because he was expecting an ambassador from another country and he needed Al-Ghazali's assistance. But Al-Ghazali sent back a message to the Sheikh. The air in this place is conducive to my health, and as the air in that place is not conducive to my health, and I cannot bottle the air here, I will not be able to attend. So the Sultan was very, very angry, but as it happened, the visit of the ambassador was cancelled. But some time later, all of a sudden, Al-Ghazali was present in the palace of the Sultan just at the moment when an assassin had come through the window and was about to kill the Sultan. So Al-Ghazali was able to wrestle this assassin to the ground and save the Sultan's life. Now, when all the kerfuffle died down, the Sultan faced Ghazali and said, I am still angry with you because you did not obey me to come when I asked you, but now I am duty bound to thank you for saving my life. And Al-Ghazali responded by answering to the Sultan, the duty of one who is present is to be at the right place, at the right time, not waiting for ambassadors who are not going to arrive. And the second story is told in the first person for some reason. I am a dervish, and I traveled to a far distant shrine with a number of other dervishes, and we had to cross an ocean. But as we were crossing that ocean, our ship foundered, and we found ourselves washed up on an unknown shore, an island, perhaps. There was nothing there that we could find to sustain ourselves. No water, no food, and we were hungry and thirsty. So we gathered in a circle to discuss amongst ourselves what it was that could be done. Well, it was decided that we should all go our own way to seek food and water. But before doing so, we decided that we would each make a vow. And so, from one to the other, around the circle, each of my friends made their vow. One was saying, "I will never ever scold my wife again." Another said, "I will attend the mosque and fulfill all the obligations of our faith." And so on, until it came to me. But inside myself there was a great silence. And then, from somewhere that I cannot explain, the words arose, "I will never eat elephant meat." Now, all of my companions scoffed at me. "How can you say that? How can you make such an inane vow?" But I remained silent. And then we each went our way. But before long, we heard the sound of one of our companions calling. They had come across a baby elephant. And so the baby elephant was slaughtered, and we all gathered on the beach to partake of the food. But when it came to me, I remembered my vow. I will never eat elephant meat. So although my belly rumbled with hunger, I abstained. After all had eaten, we lay down to sleep. But suddenly, out of the palm trees, out of the wilderness, a great trumpeting was heard, the sound of a raging elephant. We all quaked in our boots as the sound grew closer and closer. And as the raging elephant came into our midst, she went to each of my companions, and smelling the smell of elephant, each was trampled to death. The elephant then came to me and sniffed all over my body. I was so fearful. Prayers were on my lips. And then suddenly the elephant lifted me up in its trunk and carried me through the forest until we came to the edge of a village. And there the elephant lay me down and went off back into the forest wilderness. The question that arises is, which of these stories represent stillness and which represents movement? Or could it be that when we recognize what it is that this sugar is, that not only stillness and movement come together to merge, to create the bubble and froth that has the potential to become the bread of life. In asking the question, which story represents the stillness and which the movement, the possibility is there for us to recognize what this is. Sugar. What does it represent? The ingredient that brings the stillness of presence and the movement of life together. To bring the response that is the vital ingredient of life itself. Where do these two stories meet? What is it that allows them to merge? Stillness and movement, no longer two, just the froth and bubble of life. What is this sugar? Thank you.